Alright then guys, welcome to the video, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be sorting out the aircon on my Honda Civic Type R EP3. I did a poll on Instagram and about 90% of you guys said that you wanted to see this, so we're going to dive into it today. At first I thought it was the compressor because when I press the aircon button I don't hear the compressor turn on. I think on further investigation the condenser is pretty beaten up, so I'm going to assume that the gases have released from that because I've done a test and there is no gas left in the system. So we're going to be replacing those bits today, and I'll show you as we go through the day what bits we're replacing, and hopefully that solves my problem, because at this point in time I don't really know. So let's start taking the car apart. So from what I have seen online, basically the grille and the slam panel, that has to come out. We've got to take this headlight out, and we've obviously got to take the front bumper out to be able to get to all of it. Beyond that, I'm not totally sure, so what we're going to do is start by taking all of this off and we'll see from there. So after a pretty big battle trying to get this headlight out, we had a problem trying to get this bolt out here. So when you're taking your headlight out, there's this bolt here, which is the hardest one to get to. You need quite a long extension, two on the top, and then there's one on the side down here as well. Ours was an absolute mission to get this bolt out, but we finally got it out. I've taken the battery out to be able to get access to here. You don't need to take the battery out, but now it's out actually, I think it's going to give us some more access, because basically we need to get down here as well. As you can see, this is pretty ruined. I'm pretty sure this is going to be my problem. All the gas has escaped through this because, yeah, it's pretty destroyed. And it's also going to look way cooler with the new one in as well. So yes, we've got to take this bit out, and we've also got to get to this thing down here as well, which is the receiver dryer. Gonna take that off first, I think, because I think that's gonna be the hardest bit to get to. Right, so I've taken out the plug and I've undone those two 10mm bolts there. Also should mention that all the headlight bolts, they're also 10mm. I can't remember the socket size of the sensor right there, so we need to get that out. It's gonna be probably better to get it out while it's still on the car, because it's still bolted in at the moment. We're gonna get that out to transfer over to the new one. Once that is undone, we're then gonna unbolt the carrier and lift it all out as one. Hopefully these hard lines for the aircon, hopefully those can be moved out of the way enough to be able to drop this thing out. Also, I thought it was worth mentioning, a lot of you guys on social media were basically saying just delete the AC system, whereas that would be a lot easier than what I'm doing really. One, I like having the aircon because in hot days it is nice to be able to use aircon. This is only a daily, this isn't like a track car or anything like that, so I'm trying to balance the worlds really. So I do actually want the aircon, and it also helps me clear the windscreen whenever it's like fogged up quickly and stuff. That's probably the main thing I actually miss, rather than actually the cold air. So that's the reason why I'm doing it, and I know I could just delete it, but let's be honest, all you guys that delete it will be just jealous when I'm blasting around with my cold air. Yeah, just thought I'd clear that up as well. Okay, so some time has passed and things have escalated. It turned out that we couldn't get a socket or anything on the top of that sensor because the two aircon pipes were actually getting in the way. So I've ended up dropping out this thing. So there's a 10mm bolt just here, and then there's a 10mm bolt that sort of holds around the outside and sort of holds in that receiver dryer. So I loosened that. I was able to drop down the receiver dryer so that it would then pop out of underneath here. It's easier for me to show you actually. Here it is out of the car, and basically undid this 10mm, there's a little hook there, and there's also a little hook on the bottom, and then I've undid this bracket so that this can slide up and down. It needed to go down because these pipes, as you can see, sort of sit inside here. So it needs to drop down to be able to get away from these, and then once it was out of that, it just dropped out underneath. So I need to get this off, and also need to get some new O-rings. I searched for a long time trying to find these O-rings. There's also this O-ring here that I need to replace on this one. So I spent a very long time trying to find those that weren't genuine Honda, because Honda wants £6 for one, £5 for the other, and I need 3 or 4. So I just like, that's insane. So anyway, gonna go to my friends over at AR Automotive. They've got a box of the aircon specific O-rings. They need to be specific ones because otherwise they can degrade. So we're going to head over there, and I'm hoping I can also just cheekily use their vice while there to get this out and transfer it onto the new one. That's sort of the hardest bit at the way, I think. So these are the two O-ring sizes that you'll need. I'll leave the part numbers on the screen if you want to get the genuine Honda ones, but hopefully we can find these sizes in the box of assorted sizes. Before we go and do that, we're actually going to take off the condenser, because it makes sense to take this off just in case there's something that I'm missing or whatever. I don't want to make the trip twice, so I'm going to pull this rubbish looking piece out, and then yeah, we should be good to go. Okay, so I undid the 10mm bolt here, 10mm bolt here, started to lift this out, and as you can see, the fins have started falling out. So I thought I'd actually record this in case more come out. That kind of shows how destroyed. Oh my, look at that. Yeah, I think it's safe to say this is my issue. Luckily, the radiator behind is completely fine. It's destroyed. There's no other words for it. So I just need to get this rubber off. This one has already come off because it's still on the car, just down here. So I need to get that rubber off this one and then the top ones as well and transfer them over to the new one. But we've got everything now to head over and get those O-rings and everything. So just made the trip to AR Automotive to steal some of their O-rings. So they've got this box of O-rings that has the right sizes in it for me. So I've already been in and changed some things over. So this ended up being a 27mm. So I'll swap those over when we get back. And then I've also then got new O-rings on here, on there. Got that one for the one that's still on the car. That one is for the larger side that goes in the top of the condenser. In theory, we have everything that we need now to go put it all back together and have a sealed system. Let's head back and start putting the car back together. Also, big shout out to AR Automotive for helping me out with this. Okay guys, so we're back and this is the new condenser that we're going to put in. I'll leave a link to this and the other bit down below. I got them both from the same website and I can't remember exactly how much it was, but it was under 100 quid, free next day delivery as well, which is pretty cool. So it actually comes with fresh rubbers as well, which I didn't realise, so that's pretty good. So I'll swap out those on the brackets and we'll get into fitting this all back together now. Right, so I've swapped the rubbers over. I've got some blanking plugs that I need to pull out here on both those fittings, and in theory this should just slot straight down. Haven't test fit this yet, so who knows, but so far. Okay, this side sits quite high, so I'm going to try it with the old rubber. That seems to line up a bit better. Nice. All right, let's bolt this in. So it's time to actually plumb it all back together. I've put the new O-ring on this. This should hopefully line up here and slot in. So now it's time to swap over these parts into the carrier. So here's the new one. And basically I'm just gonna line it up with the markings that are left. You see where it's obviously been. So I'm gonna line it up on this one. Yeah, something like this, quite hard to do in front of the camera. So I'll fine tune this and then we'll stick it in the car. I'll drop this in here first. Don't want this on here super tight because I need to be able to move it around a little bit. And there we go. So we've got the condenser all fitted, we've got the receiver dryer all fitted and plumbed in. Everything is buttoned up. So it's basically time to put the car back together. You don't really need to see me do that. So I'll catch you when this is back in one piece. Boom, there we go, back together. Forgot to also mention I changed these over not too long ago to these red washers with this Allen key bolt. Yeah, so sort of changed it from these rusty bolts that were here. I only did a few of them around the car. They look pretty good. I'll leave a link to those in the description as well, in case you want to pick those up. You get more than I've actually put in here. I just didn't want to overload it with them, but ties in with the red on the grille, so I thought it was cool. But I thought I'd show you this back together because I haven't looked at it with the car fully back together to see what it looks like. So let's see. Hey, that looks way better. So there we go guys, car's back together and basically all I need to do now is get it regassed. I'm hoping that that's the problem solved and I'm hoping that the compressor hasn't been damaged through the lack of oil and stuff because this was a dry system. I don't know, I basically don't know. So once we get it booked in for a regas, hopefully it just gets regassed and we're done. But I'll catch up with you guys once we're doing that because at this point in time I haven't got it booked.
Tomorrow.
Cool, so it's the next day and I've got the car booked in, so hopefully this is a solution. I've heard there is a sensor that if it senses there's no gas in the system, it won't turn the compressor on, so I'm hoping it is as simple as just a regas and we're all good. But let's go in and see it in action. Okay, so currently at the moment it's doing a vacuum test, but it's also doing a pressure test, but it's doing all of that stuff first. So once it's done that, it's then going to fill it with gas if there's no leaks. So hopefully I've done everything up in here tight enough that there won't be any leaks and we should be all good. So we'll find out because this automatically stops itself if there is something wrong. So hopefully, yeah, we're all good. So gas is in, there were no leaks, nothing, so I'm hoping this is the first test to see whether there is any aircon. Out she comes. She's got cold air, we're all good. This is such a relief because I was still so worried that it wasn't going to work because of the compressor or whatever, so I'm so glad that this is everything sorted. It's nice, it's blowing nice cold air. I'm yet to actually sit in the car with it going. But yeah, just getting parked up over there, I've got to pay for this and then yeah, we'll be on the road. Hi guys, sorry, Future Ollie here. I've got this carbon fibre rear view mirror cover that I got sent from Kaizen. They sent it to me as a test product because they wanted me to see if it fits on an EP3. Annoyingly for them, it's got the Mugen logo written on it. They thought it was just gonna be bare carbon when they ordered it. And it turns out they also can't get it without the Mugen logo, which is a bit of a shame because they just wanted the bare carbon. I'm still gonna install it anyway, just to see if it fits, whatever. They're probably not gonna list this on their website, but if you do want one, get in contact with them. But I'll show you me installing it now anyway, and you can see whether you want one or not. Okay, so it's got some double-sided tape on it, and you just peel that off, slot it round, and in theory that is it attached. So I'm hoping I can get this lined up and it not stick on super aggressively. So it kind of goes over the top because it basically goes around the stem. Looks pretty cool, but obviously it isn't genuine Mugen, so it's up to you whether you want to run something like this. I'm going to run it because I haven't got a genuine Mugen grill either. Hit up Kaizen if you want one. I'm pretty sure they're not going to list this on the website because it isn't the genuine Mugen one, but hit them up if you want the genuine Mugen one. It's way more expensive, but yeah, I think it looks good. I'm pretty sure the Mugen one is basically the same thing because this thing is a full carbon piece, but I think it looks good. Yeah, anyway, back to the video. So I've driven home, it was bliss. It's currently 24 degrees, so it was a good day to actually get this done. And yeah, it's running ice cold, colder than it was before because obviously you saw the condenser was pretty ruined. So I'm very, very happy to have that sorted because I wanted to get this sorted before I got a map or anything, because with it being attached to the engine, it can affect things like that. So I wanted to make sure this was working before that. Today was a huge weight off my mind because I was really worried that there was something wrong with the compressor as well. So I'm very, very glad that it was simply just plugged in and pressure tested and everything. It was all good. It actually only took about half an hour as well, which I think isn't too bad. But yeah, super happy. Also, the condenser looks way better behind the front bumper as well. Just like a double win here. It looks better. I've got cold air again, which is so nice. So yeah, that about does it for this video, guys. Thanks for checking this one out. I hope you've enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below if you're pro aircon or if you think race car, rip it out. Yeah, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one.